So as we did in Arnold, we're also going to go ahead and make materials for this axe for Redshift. And just like Arnold, Redshift has its own set of materials, but just like Arnold, they work almost functionally exactly the same. So if I select this axe handle and right click on it, I can assign a new material, and you'll see how I was able to select the Arnold AI standard surface material here. If I click the Redshift tab, we have the Redshift standard material right here. And so that's the one I'm going to choose. Now Redshift, I don't believe has any presets in the same way that Arnold does, but all of the values work the same. So again, if I wanted this to look like metal, I really could just crank up my metalness, and we're starting to get this very metallic look to it, right? If I wanted more reflectivity or less reflectivity, I can play around with that in the reflections here, which I think Arnold calls specular. I can turn down my roughness and make it much more reflective, like a mirror. I can turn it up a little bit, and we start to get like more diffuse roughness on that. And so we can really just play around with this and make this a very sharp metallic looking axe. And then this index of refraction will also change how reflective it is on that. So we can play around this and get a very nice result, whether it's smoothed or unsmoothed. And the more I'm playing with this, the more I'm realizing smoothed isn't exactly right. I'm probably going to need to put an additional edge loop in there to sharpen that up. So let's look at the axe handle though. Again, we want to add a material to this, and I have already downloaded that material, or I've already downloaded a material for the Arnold version from Polyhaven. Again, if we go to Polyhaven, it's going to be under textures. And so if you go to wood, you're going to find all sorts of different wood options. Let's try a different one this time. Let's try this, something lighter. Maybe oak veneer looks a little... Sure, let's try this. So again, I'm going to choose what I want on here. I go to download. Sorry, I thought there were some options in here. Yeah, so I can click here. And again, the biggest things I'm going to be using in this are my, for now at least, are going to be my my diffuse and my normals. And I believe I only really need my DX normals. So I can do that to make my download a little smaller. Go ahead and download that. Save. And then again, under textures, axe textures, oak veneer, extract all, extract. And we can delete that. And so there they are, the two materials I'll need. And so with that, I need to go ahead and assign a new material to this. Right click, assign new material. And then under Redshift, I'm going to do Redshift standard material. And then because I have a couple of extra nodes, I have to click out here all the way to the end. It's the RS standard material 2. And for that, I'm going to map into color, file. I'm going to point to my oak veneer, texture, diffuse. And so now we're getting this axe handle here. And so you'll see we have those nice highlights on it. And that highlight will help us see any of the normal we add to that. So I will go back a step and scroll down here to geometry, bump map. And I believe I can do 2D texture here as well. So if I get a 2D texture file, click here, axe texture, and let's go ahead and map in my normal. And I am not getting a great result here. Okay, that's right, I remember now. So let's go ahead and break this connection. So it's a little bit different. So right click on bump map, break connection, click here. And what I want to need to do is go to Redshift and type in normal, N-O-R. So now we got this Redshift normal map. And so Arnold automatically puts that in there for you. Redshift just makes us look for it. And so this will allow us to use a normal map in here. So we go to map, source images, axe texture, open veneer, texture, and I'm going to go ahead and use my normal map. And you'll see that now I have a little bit more of those highlights showing up on the edge of the map there. So that's going to catch some of that highlight and make this look like it has some of that wood grain on the axe handle. Right. So again, very similar processes. And if you look in here, these are all like an Arnold material and a Redshift material are organized very similarly. Here's the thing you need to remember though. Arnold and Redshift are not going to render each other's materials. If I go to Arnold now and say open Arnold render view and try to render this scene, I'm going to get this purple thing. And that's because Arnold doesn't know how to read a Redshift material, and Redshift doesn't know how to read an Arnold material. So if we're working within one or the other, we have to use the lights. If I'm working in Redshift, I have to use Redshift lights, I have to use Redshift materials. If I'm working in Arnold, I have to use Arnold lights, and I have to use Arnold materials.